Alright, today we're going to get started with NFC. So you can think of these guys as like teeny tiny little beacons with really short ranges. But the benefit to that is that the costs are like a fraction of what you would spend on a beacon. So like we're talking 10 to 20 cents a piece. So the first thing we need to know is that NFC stands for Near Field Communication. This is a subset of things like RFID, so what you would get in like a hotel key card, where you swipe the card and it opens up the door. That's a type of NFC. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but a few years back there used to be an option that Android was promoting very heavily where you could tap two phones together in order to transfer images back and forth. That was NFC. Basically, it's a very secure way to transfer information from one device to another, and typically it's going from the NFC tag to the reader. Probably the biggest and most mainstream use of NFC tags right now, at least outside of things like hotel key cards and things like that, is probably going to be the Nintendo Amiibos, which are the little like statue things that you can use for some of the video games. Those all use NFC, which are pretty darn cool. Now when you're comparing the two systems, there are some differences, but basically those differences come down to the fact that NFC is more widely used, and it also has a lot of different applications. It has more features, and it's less expensive, but the range is also drastically shorter. They can serve the same role in your marketing strategy as a Bluetooth beacon. You just need to be aware of those limitations and know how to work with them. Now, like we mentioned before, NFC tags are crazy cheap. You can find them on Amazon for less than $1 a piece. Usually they're around 50 cents. You can get them wholesale for as little as 10 cents. The plastic cards that we use a lot cost about 75. That's going to depend on the quality of the cards. And then I'm also going to show you some different options for sourcing these tags in about 2 videos. And what's neat is that because they are so cheap, we actually just give these things away. So like for our restaurant clients, we put them on like their takeout menus, so that way the customers can just order online. All they have to do is tap their phone on the menu and they're taken straight to the website. And because NFC and RFID have been around for such a long time, they're used in a much wider range of situations than you would see with the Bluetooth beacon. And that makes it just a little bit easier for clients to kind of adopt it since they're already a little bit more familiar with the concepts. You say, hey look, it's just like the chip that's in your debit card, and so you're already carrying a few NFC tags or RFID tags along with you pretty much every day. The other neat thing about it is that it's actually been more widely adopted by Apple. Apple users with an iPhone 7 or newer that are using the iOS 10 or newer can use NFC tags if they have a compatible app open. So kind of the same situation as what we're looking at with the beacon. And there are a lot of rumors floating around right now that with the newest updates to iOS, we're actually going to see that feature being opened up 100% like it is on Android, which would be awesome. Please, everybody hope and pray and sacrifice virgin chickens for that. But we will keep you guys updated with that, and we'll update this video, or at least the description, as soon as that happens. And the reason that we kind of expect that to happen, first off, is just because NFC is something that's so widely used. It doesn't make sense for Apple to block that off for such a large number of their customers. And they're also already using NFC in several of their features. So for example, the Apple Pay service is run off of NFC. So that's where you can go to a store and you can actually pay for things using your phone. You just tap your phone on the reader and then it will recognize your device, recognize the authorization that you're giving, and then process the payment. On Android devices, you're looking at a situation that's very similar to what we have in regards to Nearby. The feature is built into the Android iOS. It's typically turned on by default. It doesn't require any other services to be turned on except for some sort of an internet connection, just because you're sending people to a website. As far as other differences between the systems are concerned, I think that the biggest thing is that NFC is just simply more open. You have a lot more space for the URL, so you don't have to worry about using any sort of a shortener or anything like that. You can do other things besides just sending people to a website, like you can connect them to a Wi-Fi network, you can make some simple adjustments to their phone, you can turn off their volume, and with certain tools you can even set it so that way whenever a tag is scanned, it will send you a text message. The only real limitation when you're comparing a Bluetooth beacon and an NFC tag is simply the range of the tag. And honestly, it just works. It's really fast, it's really easy, people like doing it, it's kind of a novelty thing for them. As soon as one person scans it, everybody wants to scan it and see if their phone works and try out this new magical thing that they can do. Now that we know what NFC is and how it relates to a Bluetooth beacon, the next thing we need to do is start putting them to work. So in the following videos, we're going to talk about how to get your NFC tags, where to get them, how to program them, how to install the NDEF file for iOS users. This is actually super easy, so don't freak out. Then we're going to talk about some of the different things that we can do with them, like connecting them to like an email opt-in or online menus or messenger bots and stuff like that. And finally, we're going to talk about how we're using NFC tags for our smart city project and also for our zoo projects. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. As far as other differences